Ladies and gentlemen, this is a B-Roll Recovery and the Corner production. It's my first podcast, so bear with me. But I got the pleasure, I got my man D up in here tonight. State your name for the peoples, man.
I'm Dewan Pearl.
It's my boy Dewan. Where you from, Dewan?
I'm from Cleveland. I was raised in Detroit. My mother moved to Detroit in '82.
So, well, I ain't never tell you this, but when I lived in Miami, man, I hooked up with some white dudes from Detroit, man. It was my dogs, man. We used to call ourselves the boys from up north.
Okay.
Because people in Florida is a different breed down there in Florida, bro.
Okay.
So us up north guys try to hang with up north guys.
Okay.
To, because we on the same level.
No, you never shared that.
Saying yeah. We on the same level. So that's something I did in Florida. I would always gravitate towards people from up north because we kind of got the same mind frame.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you from Detroit? How many kids you got?
I got one.
Well, you from Cleveland? My bad.
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland.
You from Cleveland, but you spend a lot of time in Detroit.
Yeah.
How many kids you got?
I got one.
You got one kid.
She's 22 years old. We on good terms today.
So, like, I want to talk about your childhood a little bit. Like, okay. How was your childhood? How was your upbringing? Was you in a 2-parent household? How was that?
Well, I had a normal childhood. I grew up in a loving home. I grew up with a stepfather. He was present, but he was distant.
Got you. I feel you.
With his medication. So, my mother did her best with us. I grew up in the Nation of Islam, a very militant religion. My mother 10 toes down.
For sure.
With the Nation of Islam.
For sure.
I try to stray away from religion. More spiritual.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was an average. It was an average, typical loving household.
How did you do in school?
I had a problem with school, Mr. Robot.
What was your problem with school, dude?
Well, I wasn't getting it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't getting it. By third grade, they put me in special education classes, and I'd rather draw pictures.
I got you.
Or hang out with the better crowd.
I got you. So it's so crazy because me, you talked plenty of times, and here's something else we didn't know. My story as a child is like yours a lot too, for the simple fact, like, I had a stepdad. He was there, but he was distant. In school, actually, I should have been in special ed, but the teachers liked me so much and they didn't put me in there, but I should have been in there. That's why, like, I know you probably heard me say this a time or two, like, I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I ain't the dullest one either. Like I say that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wasn't grasping the neither. I just wasn't. Like, I spent my time in school counting money. Like, when I was young, I'm going to say when I was in 6th grade, crack had just started hitting neighborhoods. And I can't think of what year that was, but it was like the late 80s. And people I knew, kids, was selling crack. And the truth be told, I didn't have to live that life, but I chose to. I didn't have to want. I could have just dealt with life how it was and been happy, because my mother and my stepfather was good providers, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I did start selling crack, but I don't have no hard knock life story for that. But anywho, same thing. I'm in school, like you said, you was in school drawing. I was in school all day figuring, I'm gonna spend $250 on this pack. I'm gonna make that 500. Then that's what I did all day on pen and paper, bro. That's what I did, and it's crazy, dude. One of my classmates walked up to me one day and started laughing and was like, I'm like, what you laughing at? He was like, man, you always writing about making money. And I'm like, yeah. So, all right, anyway, boom. But the bad kids, I ain't gonna really say I hung out. I was like square for real. I really didn't hang with the bad kids. Like, my younger sisters was kind of cool, and like they made me cool. But like, anyway, let's get to junior high. How that work out for you?
Junior high, I turned up in junior high. Um, it got all bad. It's like no classwork, um, running up and down the hall, getting sent home from school. My poor mother, man. I kept her up there, man.
Right.
I kept my mother up. She always got to come get me from school, man. It was just, I don't know why I started acting out.
Right.
The way I started acting out, it's just, but that was it. In the junior high, I had to start going to juvenile detention centers and stuff, and what happened was I spent so much time in juvie, going to school in there. They said the credits in there would count for when I get out.
Mm-hmm.
And the Detroit public schools, man, the system is crazy, Mr. Roebuck.
Mm-hmm.
The system is crazy. By the time I got out of juvie, I was 17 years old in the 9th grade.
Okay.
And then that's when I said,
Wow.
Yeah.
So like my story kind of sort of similar. By the time I made it to 7th grade, more people come to school, more people, my peers come to school, more people with the fat knots, more people with the 3-finger gold ring saying Nike Air Fake and all this, or the chain with the Mercedes-Benz emblem on there, and I wanted that, so, you know, I started dibbling, dabbling into the streets, selling drugs, and it was like one of the worst decisions I could have ever made in life.
You know what? Coming up in that era, in that time, you know, I adapted to my surroundings.
Okay.
I did what my peers was doing.
For sure.
And I believe the only reason I wasn't successful in selling drugs because, you know, I had the guidance. You know,
for sure.
In Detroit, the Big Hat Boys.
Yes.
I could put some names out there, man. Big Weeks, Jerry Scarborough, Wayne Lott, Foots, Little. You know, all them Schoolcraft boys. You know what I'm saying? I had the guidance.
For sure.
But I remember one time when I tried to give my mother $100, and she knew it was drug money, and she didn't accept it, and the disappointment in her face was, you know, she didn't even have to say nothing.
Right.
You know, it was all in her face. But I didn't take the money serious from that point on. If my mother would have accepted that $100 that time, you know what I'm saying, I would have been doing it for a whole nother reason. But I think everything happened for a reason.
Got you, for sure. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you do your thing.
And so, I'm trying to see what happened in my light.
What, you got a timer on it?
No, I don't know why I did that, but if it go out again, it just go out. I'm gonna edit that out. Remember
We get what we pay for, don't we?
No, it's because it's in this TV thing. If I would have had it in the plug,
okay.
it wouldn't have did that. All right, so boom, we back to you was hanging with the guys who was getting that bread. They acknowledged you, and same thing for me. Like, but the difference in the difference between me and you, like you always say, you say we both was in the game, but about the bread situation, I was just like so dedicated to the streets.
Yeah.
Like I could see this, like, not glorifying at all, but I had good hustling role models around, like my sister boyfriend, like, loved her to death. He was on bricks. So, like, did I have to start from the bottom and work my way up to the top? Yeah, but guess what? I seen it firsthand. I seen 1,000 kilos with my own eyes. You see what I'm saying? I seen it. So shit be different when you see shit. But moving on along, all right, so
That's
boom. Yeah, so boom.
I ain't never seen that.
Yeah, dude. Seen it, listen, seen it. Going dude house. You know how you had the little tables? All them full of money. And I'm over there one day and some guys was over there, dude, and I'm like, you know, I'm scared. He said, man, ain't nobody gonna touch nothing. And I didn't think about it till like a year later when I realized, you know what, wasn't nobody gonna touch nothing because everybody had money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you, like I said, they got 1,000 bricks. So everybody coming over there getting big boy shit from over there. But boom, anyway, moving on along. So with all of that lifestyle we just talking about, of course, now here we go with, of course, the marijuana come in.
Oh yeah.
The marijuana come in. Let's talk about that marijuana.
It's the gateway.
Ain't it, man?
It's the gateway.
Ain't it, man?
I used to do things for that marijuana, Brian. Unnatural.
What?
You would think I was smoking crack. Crack ain't come along yet.
Right.
I did Cubone. Shouts out to Cubone. He in Memphis, Tennessee right now. But that was my right hand man in Detroit. Me and Cubone.
Right.
We were doing fiend stuff as weed addicts. Like he was still his sister Twinkle's jewelry, and his mother's rings, and he'd come down to my house. We'd go to the pawn shop,
right,
up on Grand River,
right.
You know, go get our $25 little $30 for the ring,
right,
and go to the weed man and sit in my Cadillac in my mama driveway,
right,
that I wasn't driving. They was sitting on flats.
Wow.
smoking blunt after blunt.
And it's crazy about back then, like me, same shit, smoking blunt after blunt, like, and right then and there, like, that's the beginning of showing you that addictive personality we have, and we never could really see it for what it is until the train is way off the track over in North Korea somewhere. Right. Then we realize how things is. So, like, for me, like, I don't know how it escalated for you, but we escalated for me with PCP. I had some friends, man, who was on PCP, and they used to tell me about it. I really never thought nothing too much about it or whatever. They used to tell me about it, and
been there, done that too.
Next thing you know, boom, they got me smoking the PCP. Then the PCP went to ecstasy.
Yeah.
And came after the ecstasy. I want to say it was powder? Ecstasy. No, powder was never that I really dealt with. Yeah, no, I never really dealt with powder. But it was more the PCP and the ecstasy just was taking me to a whole level of things. But guess what? We ain't here to talk about me right now. We're here to talk about you. To tell me about your escalation and what you was partaking in.
So my story is similar. You know, the first narcotic I ever consumed, other than some Hennessy or some weed, was acid. You know, because I came in the west side of Cleveland. Okay. And I got with my Caucasian friends, man. To this day, I'm still friends with some of them.
Got you.
But she had my lady friend had a family house out in Port Clinton. Now, me coming up fresh out of Detroit, you know, I come up with that Detroit mentality. At this time, you know, I'm getting money.
Right.
In my class, not nothing like that. But I'm okay. I'm doing.
You holding your own. You holding it down.
Yeah. So
what you do?
We going to a family summer house out in Port Clinton, and I'm selling them all weed, and they had some acid, and you know they told me to put it on my tongue, and me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I got a thinking problem.
Right. Yeah. Let's do it.
So. And I had a good time. They told me I had a good trip because I laughed for 4 hours straight.
Damn.
I laughed so hard that I was getting scared. My stomach was hurting. I laughed 4 hours straight, seriously, and then things got real serious. But from acid, I couldn't believe I was high without blowing no smoke out my mouth.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
For sure.
And I liked it. So I did it a couple more times, and then it got old, and then they telling me, you know, to make your brain bleed and it leak on your spine. Yeah. So I was cool on that, but all in that era, just like your story, ecstasy came along, and right, PCP.
And here's something crazy too, because it's like so many times have I heard about what this drug do for you, do to your brain, what that drug do to your brain. And guess what? I never ever wanted to believe any of that. Like, I thought everything them people said was just a deterrent just to stop you from using it. It's like, damn, y'all just really want to piss on my parade. Because I swear they, like the ecstasy, like the ecstasy pills, so it put holes in your brain. I'm like, no, it don't. Yeah. I never had known nobody to die off of it. All I knew was about a good time about it. Yeah. So I never believed in any of that. I never bought no stock into any of that.
But it's a fact, though, right?
It's a fact. It is. It's most definitely a fact.
So, man, like, want me to speed it up for you?
Go ahead.
So, bottom line is, like, my mom, one day, the same people that I'm serving, I'm out in Palmer, and I got my group of dudes out there that I go serve them crack. And at this time, I got a coke habit, like maybe 8 ball a day at least.
Okay.
A coke habit, and then my connect got locked up, and you know, money going out, but ain't nothing coming in.
Right.
And it got hard. Like for the first time in the game, like I'm struggling.
Right.
And then the first time in the game, I'm realizing like, damn, I gotta have this coke.
Right.
I want this coke, and then you know you got to do 2 different kinds of coke. You know, you got the good coke. You know, you can pay $60 a gram for the good coke, or you can pay $40 a gram for the bullshit. Gotcha. I want the good coke. You know.
Right.
I want that cookback.
Right.
But they ain't not around.
Right.
You know, so what I do? You know, at this time, you know. At this time, I'm serving heroin too. I snorted one of my heroin bags. I wanted some coke so bad.
Been there.
You know, tell me I ain't sick.
Sick.
So fast forward. Thank God I ain't get all off and deep into that, but the fact that I did it.
For sure.
I did it. I ain't getting into the needles or nothing, but I snorted me some
boy.
boy.
You ain't by yourself. I snorted some heroin before, and like you say, what it was for me was I knew that shit was so strong. For me trying it one time, I knew that it was so strong. I knew to stay the hell away from that shit.
Same thing.
I knew to stay. I said, I'm greedy. Yeah. I would be dead somewhere.
Yeah.
Way somewhere. So I knew. So I'm with you on that.
So one day I'm going on to Palmer, and my dude, he called me. He got $30. I'm like, here I come. I wasn't too far from him. Send him some crack. So they in there, they experimenting in this basement finished. It ain't like a trap. It ain't no roaches. This is a suburb.
Right.
And, you know, I'm in and out of this house all the time. And they in there with their tubes, with their pipes. And I used to trip and look at them, but for some reason,
this time you was like curious.
Yeah. I'm like, man, let me see. I said, let me see, man, what that shit hitting for. Because at this time, I done everything under the sun.
Right.
And I left it alone.
Right.
At the same time, I'm going through some of my hard times, too.
Right.
My connect gone, and it's just a stressful time for me at this time. So that's the worst thing I ever could have did right there was, you know, actually hit that shit.
For sure. It changed your whole life.
Yeah, the first time I hit some crack was through a tube hooked on the pipe, you know. So it ain't look like
nothing that's
like I've been serving in the
right. They had a fancy crack pipe.
It ain't look nothing like that.
Fancy smashy crack pipe out of your ass. Fooled the fuck out you.
In the setting. Yeah,
man, you want to hear something I heard 1,000 times, man, it just drives me insane when I think about it. When you get somebody, a female, on crack and they say, trick no good. What the fuck you mean trick no good? Bitch, you tricked the fuck out right now.
Yeah.
The trick was good. Because now you sitting around here fucked up off of a drug, but you still running around talking about some trick no good. No, yeah, the trick is on fucking you.
Yeah,
but anyway.
That you remind me of something before I proceed with that. As far as them girls, man, and in the drug addiction game, they got it bad, man. They got it bad. But I bonded with a lot of them girls. But hey, ain't no that pimping stuff.
Yeah.
Crack is the pimp.
Hell yeah. Like, listen. Go ahead.
Crack is the pimp. Back in the what 60s, 50s, back in the 60s, 70s, right? Before crack hit, right? They call it smack, the cocaine and the heroin. And from what I understand, allegedly the CIA put the smack in the communities because we as a people we was kind of united and there was a lot of pimping going on
for sure.
And allegedly when the CIA put the smack in the middle of the hood,
right,
some pimps converted it on being drug pushers. You know, but the real pimps remain pimping.
Right,
That's their main and only hustle.
Right.
Once a pimp, always a pimp.
Right.
But some of them pimps reverted over to pushing smack. And once they started pushing smack, you know, they would pimp themselves out because now the smack is the pimp.
Got you.
That's what I wanted to say.
Something I'm gonna say about that whole epidemic, man. It's like if you really sit back and think about it now, it's kind of like the fentanyl epidemic. But see, like back, like you said, it was smack. Like I did hear smack. I don't know what I thought smack was, but like crack, like you said, it was a lot going on. They wanted to break the blacks up, and then it became an issue when white people got on it, so they say. And that's what made it like they never had no idea of how serious the crack problem would become in the United States or wherever else you may have. But to piggyback off of what you just said, what I've learned about the shit is so fucking crazy. It's like once I started getting high, I seen it. Listen, man, I swear to God, it reminded me. You know, like in the Bible, when they say Eve bit the apple, and when she bit the apple, her eyes was open. I swear to God, I sold crack for 20 years, bro. I had absolutely no idea what it was doing to people or none of that. I promise I did. I thought people were spending their money because they wanted to. The minute I got hooked on crack, it opened my eyes up and I realized what the hell is going on with that shit. It made me realize why the crime rate up so high is like open my eyes to all of that. Like, yeah, it's I swear. So, when I sit back and think about it, dude, I was blinded and I guess like that's crazy for me to sit here and tell you that I sold crack for 20 years, bro, and had absolutely no clue to what this was doing, man. I didn't. That's could go for that little butt shit for me, how I should have been on the... I honestly didn't. I know a lot of people will see this that know me and would be tripping like, man, be tripping. No, I'm not. I fucking didn't fucking know no better. I swear I didn't. And, yeah, I just fucking didn't, bro.
Well, you know better now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When I
shit off.
You good?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit it though. No,
because I'm like a movie star, man.
I'm most definitely gonna edit it, but I ain't got no understanding of how.
Well, let's do a closing.
Hold on, bro. You calm down.
All right, I'm calming down.
We ain't finished opening yet.
I'm calming. We ain't finished opening?
We ain't finished opening yet.
Lights. You want to look? Give me a studio.
Fuck, my shit gonna cut off like that though. It's crazy, man.
I don't know. Probably
I don't know what that was all about. So, all right, so boom, you get highly addicted. You, with this being my first podcast, we ain't gonna get too deep into the drunken law, but I understand it was a lot of, you doing this, that, and the third. Like I said, like what I learned about off of crack, a lot of people will do a lot of things that they don't want to do. Them ladies do not want to be out there selling their bodies. They do not want to be out there sucking dick. They don't want to be doing none of that shit. And I realized about how, like, that's all the devil. But the main reason for me bringing you on here is, what did you do to get clean, man? How did you do it? That's what the people want to know. That's what I want to know.
It ain't nothing I did, man. I get a glory to God, man, getting sober.
Okay.
Like I said, I grew up very religiously, man. I'm a very spiritual individual, but what I did to get sober, it came gradually. Like, it was God's design, because I would find myself in getting sanctioned through trouble, through probation. I would get sanctioned to rehab for dirty urines, because I won't stop getting high even for dirty urine.
Right.
I would try to get some golden seal. I would try to use
throwback.
somebody else pee.
Right.
I would think of everything of beating this drug test.
Right.
Except stopping.
Right.
Stopping.
Never crossed your mind.
Never crossed my mind. So I heard a guy in a meeting say that. And, it made me take a look at myself. I had a problem. But back to how I stopped, it was a gradual process, getting thrown in rehabs and having to go to meetings, and me separate myself from the rest of the people like I ain't nothing like these people.
Okay.
Because first time I was going to a meeting, I was still a drug dealer.
Got you.
And they telling me I got an addiction too, because I was addicted to the money. That's the first lesson I learned.
Right.
So what attracted me to this program was the information of a change.
Okay.
Brian. After all these years of bumping my head, I was always welcome back to these rooms.
For sure.
And up until one night, man, it got, getting shot or none of that crazy stuff didn't stop me. The night I decided to stop, I probably spent my last $100 or something. It wasn't a bad night, but I was just fed up that night.
Right.
I literally made a right turn instead of a left.
Ooh.
I was going to go, if I made a left,
Don't mention no place where you went just because of the cameras.
Yeah,
don't do that.
If I would have made a left, I would have ended up at this gas station I used to post up at.
Got you.
And if I made a right, that's pro cop at this sober house that I got kicked out of, that I did my last bin on.
Got you.
And I'm like, I'm just tired.
Right, for sure.
I'm just tired. So I knew what the help was because it was in my head. And I went to detox, and I sat down at a facility, and I just started listening. They said surrender. The first step is to surrender. The first step is that we admit we were powerless, that our lives had become unmanageable.
For sure.
And that's the first step. That's the only step I had to do perfect. And I just surrendered, man. And then God had been putting things in front of me since I surrendered, like that I cannot deny.
Right, for sure.
And I've just been following the suggestions, man.
For sure, man.
That night my butt was whooped right.
For sure.
And I had way worse.
Right.
But you gotta get that butt whooped right.
Right. It just made all that right. You just get to a point where the shit just make all the goddamn sense.
Yeah, you know what makes sense.
You be like, right.
I make that make sense for everybody.
Right.
My butt was whooped right, y'all.
Right, man. And what you do on a daily basis, man? Like, as far as meetings, what do you do?
I got a home group. I got a sponsor.
That sponsor.
I go to work. I don't do nothing. I don't do nothing extravagant. I follow suggestions, man.
For sure.
I stay away from old people, places, things. I try to help where I can.
For sure.
How I can.
For sure.
I sponsor now. Yeah, that's what I do today. It's a daily reprieve, man. Every day I wake up, I hit my knees, and I give it to God.
For sure.
I get me out. I stay out of my way today.
Well, you better say that.
I stay out my way today because my ideas, my thoughts,
Your best thinking.
Ooh, it's crazy.
In the jackpot.
Yeah, man, and I'm eternally grateful for the fellowship, man. AA.
For sure.
I can say that, right?
For sure, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I'm a proud member of that fellowship, man. It changed my life. I done some leads. I do leads when I'm asked today. You know, I'm still residing in sober living right now. I won't disclose the location.
Right, for sure.
Of that, but I service that facility. You know,
for sure.
Working with the new guys who coming in after me, man.
For sure.
You know, because I have to get us the way to keep it.
Gotta give it away.
That's how they teach us.
Gotta give it away to keep it. You cannot hold all that good shit to yourself, man, and think you gonna stay clean and sober out here, man. I try to tell people all the time, man. I couldn't tell you, I can't stress this enough, man, how many times I tried to get people to make me an audio, make me a video, send it to me so I could put it on my channel, man. People block me. People I know who doing real good and that I've known for years, man, sit up here and tell me they gonna do this, that, and the third, and they don't do it, man. That's why, like me personally, bro, I try to be of service today, man, in any type of way I can.
I just good service, man.
You know, and I appreciate you, bro. Like, I just try, man. Like you say, those suggestions, because like I tell anybody, boy, you didn't kept me on the straight path, because I wanted to go left or right in a minute. And guess what? Like I tell you, I don't know if you can see it, I ain't no humble dude. You make me humble, bro, for real. Because I swear I could be him. Right. And I just don't want to be. I'm talking on crack and everything. I'll be that crazy guy with the baddest broad. You be like, listen, dude, on some real shit, like my girlfriends, bro, that I've had on crack, you would be like, what the fuck? Like, how, like, people be confused. How in the hell this nigga? Yeah, this, you feel me? So I just be blessed and highly favored, man, and glad to be on the journey I'm on, man. Gonna continue to give back, man. I'm most definitely glad that you popped up.
You gonna help a lot of people. Show. You gonna help a lot of people.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, man.
Mr. Roadbug.
I'm gonna try, man. Yeah. And, hey, y'all, until next week, Sunday, same time, same place. Come check us out. Get y'all people, man, to like, subscribe, and share to the channel, man. Guess what? You could be on the show next. Y'all have a good day.
Let's talk about it.